Hi everyone, this is Beth Koigi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Majik Water. So Majik Water is a Kenyan company that specializes in air-to-water technology. So basically we have devices that harvest water from air, and these devices range from 20 liters of water to 1,000 liters of water. So Majik Water was started in 2017 when Kenya was facing an acute drought. And I remember this was the same time that Cape Town was approaching day zero. So Sub-Saharan Africa was facing drought and so many people were affected. So we would go for up to 8 months without water. And this means that, when we don't have water, you don't have water basically for doing anything. And also we have power outages because Kenya depends on hydropower. Basically, it's 70% of it all on the grid power comes from the hydropower. So when there is no water, there is no electricity. So it was a kind of a very bad situation. And this is the point where, I started thinking of ideas. How do I help my community become or have a water source that is decentralized? So I met my co-founders at a program that we were all doing at NASA Research Center. And one of the idea was, getting water from air, but how do we do it? So the first thing that we did, we first created an MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product. And this is a product that has similar characteristics to the actual product. And you can actually take it out to the community and, learn from the community using this MVP. This MVP helps you to, innovate in an informed way. Once you collect that information, you are able to implement it into the product. So our minimum viable product was basically a dehumidifier, and it was able to get 10 liters of water, and we connected that to a solar source because most of the regions that we wanted to implement this project was off-grid. So there was no on the grid power source. And we created focus group discussions where we interviewed community members around that product. So the information we got or the knowledge we got, we now use that to prototype and do our next prototype, which was actually a failure because it didn't produce any water. But for us, we learned and, we were able to see where we went wrong, and redoing that, we were able now to create a product that was producing a meaningful amount of water. So initially, we intended to do a desiccant-based technology. So desiccants are materials that get water from air or absorb water from air. And, when you heat them up, they release that water. An example is silica gel, which we were using. You can find it in your shoes and in your handbags. And their purpose is to absorb the excess humidity. But, for you to remove that water from that material, you have to heat them up to get that water. So our initial prototype was that, and we started by that. And it was a failure, and we felt that that technology is still very young and we are not able to get any meaningful amount of water from it. So now we went to, condensation. So basically we were condensing, water vapor in air and condensing that to now become water. And actually something interesting that you should know is that there's 6 times more water in the atmosphere than there is in all rivers around the world. So there is a lot of water in air. So we were, going by that. And actually you are able to get water from here, even in the driest part of the country or in the driest part of the world. There's some level of humidity in air. So once we were able to get a machine or a device that is able to produce something or a meaningful amount of water, now it was our time to go to the market. But 5 months down the line, we didn't have any form of investment. We didn't have any revenue. We had used up our savings. So we were almost now closing down. But, I attended a water conference and I met this lady. She was from Microsoft. So I started giving her, telling her about our idea and what we were doing and, our prototype. And, she became very interested and surprisingly believed in us. And I think that was the first key relationship we had as a company, and that was the first business we ever got. So there are 5 things that we learned from this whole process. And one of them, it starts with you as a person. It starts with a person with a passion. And everyone can become an entrepreneur. Everyone can innovate. Everyone can reinvent. You have just to look at, what is it that you're passionate about. And the second thing we learned is, start with the problem. You cannot create a solution and then look for a problem for it. It will fail. It has to start with a problem that you or your community or your family member is facing, and then innovate around that. And also keep customers or your potential client at the top of this. Create a minimum viable product, go to the market quickly, learn quickly, and fail quickly. So once you get that information, you are able now to create a product that is advised by the client or the people who are going to purchase that product from you. Look for what they are looking in a product. So from then on, I think that learning for us is, that learning from us is, learn from the best. If possible, have mentors. Have mentors either in your field, have mentors who are able to advise you, and also learn from other people who have done it. We are very lucky we live in an era where you can just Google everything. Google if there is anyone who have ever done something similar of what you want to do, and then learn from them. You can learn from their mistake, you can learn from their success, learn what you can do better. We are not asking anyone to invent anything, innovate, just build on what already exists. And the other learning for us is being resilient. There are so many things that happen that make you feel that this is not going to work. You will have a lot of self-doubt. Being resilient and believing in yourself is key. Creating, and having a network of people who believe in you, having mentors who believe in your idea, who believe that it's viable. And then the other thing is relationship is key. Like I mentioned earlier, it started with our relationship with Microsoft. So when we met Microsoft, they created like the first, kind of client that we needed. So when we have Microsoft in our portfolio, so other people just follow. They believe in you. So if you've done an installation for Microsoft, then you are able to do an installation for us equally as good. So basically, those are the things I wanted to share with you, our 5 lessons that we learned, and also, make you believe that as young people, the world right now is facing a lot of challenges. Every communities have its own challenges. May it be, racism, may it be something related to climate change, the wildfires, may it be water scarcity, may it be, drought, maybe so many other things, including famine. It may be so many challenges that we are facing as, community. Innovate around there. It can be a community problem. It may be a problem that your family is facing. It may be a challenge that you're facing individually. You can start with that and then move forward, and also create a network. It's always important to, take every network very serious. You may not use that, relationship right now, or you may not use that person that you've met right now, but in future you may need them either for advice, connections, or, getting or learning from them. So thank you. That is it from me. And I wish you all the best.